Good morning and welcome to another edition of Coffee with Curare. Today is mid-January Wednesday, and we've taken a couple week hiatus for the holidays. We're back with a vengeance, ready to make a lot of recruiting matches this year. And today, Dave and I are going to be speaking about a couple different subjects. My subject of the day is actually one that comes up frequently this time of year with residents sealing the deals on their jobs, fellows sealing the deals on their jobs, and a lot of new physicians starting their job search, or even just younger physicians starting their job search these days, coming into the market with, coming into their career with a huge amount of student loan debt. Figures that I've seen this year, they get larger and larger every year. This is the first year that I've seen or heard of somebody with $400K in student loan debt. Average I'm hearing this year is anywhere from about, I'd say, high 200s to 250. And that's huge. It's like paying off an extra mortgage once you start your career. And we hear people talking about it all the time. In this past election cycle, it was a huge subject: student loan forgiveness, student loan debt, and the massive amounts. And a lot of students, not physicians, thankfully, you're immune to this. A lot of students get degrees that just don't offer a good return on investment. Fortunately, you're in a position where getting a medical degree guarantees a good return on investment, guarantees that you're going to be amongst the top 3 to 5% of earners in the United States of America, no matter what your specialty is. Some specialties tap into the top 2%. Either way, you're going to be pretty well off as a physician in your career. It's a great career choice. It continues to be. Salaries continue to go up, but that doesn't ease the burden of your student loans that you have coming into the start of your career. What I wanted to talk about today was just 5 simple ways to kind of set aside these goals where you could get your student loans paid off quickly and get them knocked down as soon as possible, so you could start keeping more of your money and not have that burden hanging over your shoulders. The number one, I guess, would be finding a job opportunity with student loan forgiveness. A lot of employers out there qualify for both federal and or state programs that could pay anywhere from $25,000 to $30,000 per year. You have to qualify, you have to put in a lot of paperwork. It generally is a rubber stamp type thing, and as long as the money's there in the loan forgiveness program, you're going to get it if you work in these more underserved areas and the money's there. Likewise, a lot of hospitals offer private loan forgiveness right through their own pockets. Today I was working with a physician. She's coming in with $193,000 of student loan forgiveness, and the private practice is offering her $100,000 of student loan forgiveness towards her package, and that would be actually amortized by them over a 5-year period. So the income hit for her would only be a $20K additional income per year that she'd be getting taxed on, but she'll get the lump sum of the $100K up front. So that'll really knock down the interest payments that she has and take a huge chunk out of that 193. The other 93 she could pay off through various methods. But some other methods that come to mind for student loan forgiveness is just budgeting extra payments. If you're a once a month person and you're paying $2,000 per month for your student loan payments, knock that down to 2 $1,000 payments. Send one at the 15th of the month and one at the 1st of the month. It's not going to knock down too much, but it'll knock down little bits of interest here and there. And over the course of time, you're going to come to find that your loans are paid off a little bit sooner than they should have been, and you're going to save yourself thousands of dollars. The next one is, I think, pretty big. Live below your means. Coming out of residency, it's really tempting. You're getting paid. You're going from maybe a $48,000 to $50,000 per year stipend to anywhere from $180,000 to $400,000 in salary. That's a huge jump. It's a huge lifestyle change, and you got to take that on responsibly. Don't go out and start buying your new cars and buying your new wardrobes and running up credit card debt. Live below your means during this time. These are some of your best earning years, right? When you're starting your career, you want to work hard, you've got the energy. Take advantage of that and make a lot of money, and don't spend a lot for your first 5 to 10 years in practice. The more disciplined you could be, the easier you're going to have more disposable income to throw towards your loans.
That goes for your whole life, though. How many times have you had a 70, 72-year-old physician call that can't afford to stop working?
And that's not where you want to be. If you're coming out of training right now, you're likely 30 to 36 years old, in that range for the most part. And you don't want to be one of these physicians that is calling us at 72 because they can't quit. They can't leave the market because they've been living above their means for most of their career. And when you're living above your means as a top 5% income producer in America, there's not much room to go back up if you fall down at all. Another way to do that is to live in a lower cost of living area. A lot of people coming out of training, we tend to find they want to live in metropolitan areas. The most glamorous areas are usually the most expensive areas. And if you could find a happy medium where the cost of living is reduced, you could easily set aside a lot more disposable income by just having lower housing costs, lower insurance costs, lower property taxes. The property taxes are a huge one to think about. Chicago, for instance, $12,000 per year on a 4,000 square foot home, if that. You go across the border 45 minutes to Indiana, that same home's going to cost about $2,500 per year in property taxes. All this adds up, and there are things that you might not think about as you're taking that first job. And then finally, another thing is, if you get any windfall payments during the course of your first 3 to 5 years in practice, bonus money, quality bonuses, quantity bonuses, whatever they might be, throw that right at your student loans. Consider that extra money and get rid of your loans instead of using it for something else. And then you'll be better off in the long run. And those are some ways to really work on getting your student loans paid off that I found to be really handy. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a physician recruiter. I run a physician recruiting company. But I did have my house paid off when I was 36 years old, so I've got that going for me. And I used a lot of these same tricks. And I'm going to hand it over to Dave and see what he has to say for the day.
Well, this kind of goes in line with finding a lower cost place to live when you're burdened with a lot of student debt. And I want to talk about a community and a health system in Southern Oregon. It's in the Grants Pass, Medford area, and it's an organization called Asani Healthcare. And this is it's Southern Oregon. It's almost on the California border. And they have a hard time recruiting physicians there because most people, when you talk about going to Oregon, immediately jump to Portland. That's where they don't want to go. Away on the south side of the state is this awesome community. It's two communities. They're right next to each other. They got a combined population of 580,000 people. Health system's got 3 hospitals, 125 bed, 378 bed, and then more of a 50 bed, not quite critical access facility. They put together top income packages, great sign-on bonuses, median and above guaranteed salaries, easily attainable production incentives. I talked to a guy that lived in California, and he once told me he was already into this organization, but he had told me, like, everybody that lives there knows if you're a doctor, that's the place to work. So there's good, they have a good reputation amongst the greater medical community in the area. They are within an hour of 100 vineyards. They've got some of the top mountain biking trails in the country if you're into being outdoors, and along with that, a lot of hiking and a lot of mountains. If you like to be outdoors and you like to be active, there are plenty of things to do. They are looking for a lot of physicians right now. We're looking for family practice, infectious disease, emergency medicine, urgent care physicians, internal medicine, dermatology, neonatology, hospitalists, wound cares, orthopedic surgeons. I mean, the list goes on and on. They've got needs. They're the regional referral center for basically all of Southern Oregon and Northern California. And it's just a really good place to live, to work. And like I said, the hardest thing is getting people there. If you go there, you take a look around, we usually close the deals, but we got to get the people there first. So if you're keeping in mind, looking for a wonderful lower cost place to live, lots to do, great career potential, give Southern Oregon a thought. I'd love to talk to you about it.
Real good skiing down there too, believe it or not. They get some, it's kind of wet snow, but they get a lot of snow in the wintertime. So if you're a skier, it could be a good place to go as well. Alpine, cross country, the whole 9 yards, they've got it there.
It's like an outdoor wonderland.
Yeah, it is. It's really isolated and just a great place to raise a family though.
But they've got an airport that will fly you direct to San Francisco, to Seattle, to Denver. I mean, you can get in and out of there pretty easily.
Sounds good.
So,
anything else today?
that's all I got.
Excellent. Well, that'll do it for Coffee with Curare for today. We'll see you next Wednesday, same time, same place. Talk to you then.